A driving test has two sections, theory and practical. 90% of the people on Monday passed at least one section. So straight away I'm thinking that means 10% failed both sections. 78% of people passed the theory section and 64% of people passed the practical section. And I want to represent this information on a Venn diagram. So here is my rectangle that represents all of the people that took the tests on Monday. And this circle here can represent the people who passed the theory test. This circle over here can represent the people that took passed the practical test. And I want to fill this diagram in. So first of all, please make sure you avoid the mistake of just straight away putting 78 there and 64 there. That is not correct. Straight away, these numbers add up to more than 100 because there is an overlap between them. Some people will have passed, some of these 78% will have passed the practical test, and some of these 64% will have also passed the theory test. So we have to start on the inside region. Hopefully you remember that from the last video. But the issue here is I don't know what the inside region is. It hasn't told me that information in the question. So we're going to use some algebra to help us. Because I don't know what to call it, I'm just going to call it X. Now, I know that this whole section here adds up to 78. Therefore, if the inside is X, this bit here will be 78 minus X. I also know that this part over here adds up to 64. Therefore, I know that this outside region here will be 64 minus X. And the other piece of information I know here is that 90% of people passed at least one test and that 10% failed, which means there'll be 10% on the outside here. Now, I know that all of these numbers inside here will add up to 100%. So I can form an equation here. I can say that 78 minus X plus 64 minus X plus 10 equals 100. If I now go through and solve this equation, so just collecting up the like terms here, and adding up the 78, the 10 and the 64. That gives me 152 minus X equals 100. Therefore, X equals 52. So now I can actually draw a Venn diagram. I know the inside region is 52. That's 52. Which means that this region here will be 26 because remember, it's 78 minus X. So 78 minus 52 is 26. Similarly, remember I know that all of this over here adds up to 64. So therefore this will be 12. And remember the outside was 10. And just check. To make sure you're happy with this, add these numbers up, you will get 100. Okay, for the next part of the question, it says, a driver is selected at random, work out the probability this person passed the theory test, given that they passed the practical. So we know that they passed the practical, so we know for a fact they are in this region. So we are only talking out of those 64% of people in that region there, and we want the probability that they passed the theory test. So of those, 52% of people passed the theory, so that's 52 out of 64. That's the probability. That's the probability that they passed the theory test, given that they passed the practical test. Part B, find the probability that they passed the practical section, given that they passed only one section. So we know they only passed one section. So we know that they either just passed the theory test or they just passed the practical test. But they didn't pass both of them. So we know that we are only looking out of the 38 people that I've just highlighted in green there. Sorry, not 38 people, 38% of people. So we know 38% of people only passed one section, and we know that 12 of those passed the practical section. So there is a 12 out of 38 chance that we pick somebody who passed the practical section, given that they passed only one section.